Welcome to Bridge to India's monthly update on renewable power policies. This is Neha McCall, Assistant Manager at Bridge to India, and I'm here to discuss policy developments from the month of February. On the central government front, there were amendments to DSM regulations, extension of ISTS charge waiver to open access projects, and guidelines for pump storage projects. On the state government front, most states chose to adopt the MOP recommended RPO trajectory and green open access rules. Let's look at the policies in more detail. We'll start with the central government updates. CERC changes DSM penalty calculation methodology. CERC has done away with linkage of penalty to ancillary service charge. Penalties are now calculated as a percentage of PPA tariff or average traded price on exchanges in case of utility scale projects and open access projects, respectively. Deviation bans have also been loosened, especially for wind projects where there is no penalty for up to 15% deviation. For other projects, there is no penalty for up to 10% as against the previous limit of 5%. In case of over-injection, there will be no compensation for excess power beyond 15% and 20% for wind and other projects, respectively. The lighter plans of wind projects reflect higher complexity involved in wind generation forecasting. The changes bring the revised regulation much closer to 2014 regulations in response to calls from industry stakeholders after penalties went up 6 to 12x for solar and wind projects, respectively. CERC amends criteria for waiver of ISTS charges and losses. The waiver on ISTS charges has been extended to all solar and wind projects commissioned before 30th of June 2025 for 25 years and 12 years for storage projects. Hydro projects awarded between 1st of December 2022 and 30th of June 2025 are also eligible for this waiver for 18 years. Waiver on ISTS losses has been extended to solar, wind, and storage projects awarded through competitive bidding before 15th of January 2021. Extension of transmission charge waiver to open access projects is a long awaited amendment that the Ministry of Power had first proposed in June 2022. The move is expected to stimulate ISTS open access capacity addition and will be particularly helpful to corporate consumers in states with scarce renewable potential. MNRE issues guidelines for pump storage projects. Pumped hydro projects will be allocated based on competitive bidding between private companies. The projects will enjoy incentives in the form of ISTS charge waiver, exemption from requirement to contribute to local area development fund, supply free power to the state government, and budgetary support from the central government. Pump storage projects are quickly gaining momentum with 29.1 gigawatt of capacity currently in pipeline, mainly because of the huge cost advantage over batteries. Karnataka recently became the first state to issue a standalone pump storage tender for 1000 megawatt, 8000 megawatt hour of capacity. Ministry of Finance announces budget provisions for renewable sector. The finance minister has proposed viability gap funding for 4000 megawatt hour of battery storage systems. We don't know yet what is the exact quantum of VGF, but the development is highly welcome as high cost is delaying adoption and adding to concerns around grid stability in view of large RE capacity addition. We expect SECI to issue VGF based tenders for standalone storage capacity. MNRE approved 702 megawatt capacity under ALMM. Fujiyama and Genus have been approved as new manufacturers with 95 megawatt and 22 megawatt capacity respectively. The balance increment came from additional capacity approved for Vikram. Total approved capacity now curiously stands at 22.4 gigawatt, but there continues to be a severe shortage of high efficiency modules in the domestic market. It is worth noting that no cell capacity has been approved so far, and the recent one-year waiver again shows that this policy is not well thought out. There are some more minor updates. CRC notifies tertiary ancillary services regulation. All provisions of ancillary service regulations will be effective from 1st of April 2023. As these services will be procured through exchanges, NLDC will need to formulate a formal operating procedure for the same. MNRE extends commissioning deadline under Component A of Kusum scheme. Commissioning deadline has been extended to 30th of September 2023 for projects approved in financial year 2020, provided they achieve financial closure by 31st March 2023. Overall progress under Kusum scheme remains way behind targets. This is the third deadline extension granted for Component A, seemingly because of COVID-19 related delays in project commissioning. And the last update, CA proposes interventions for transmission lines to protect GIB in their habitat. Power lines over 33 kV will be required to install bird diverters at every 10-meter interval, while lines under 33 kV will be moved underground. Formalization of this process is welcome as the matter has been stuck in Supreme Court for more than 2 years, but the environmentalists argue that the proposals are in contradiction with the feasibility report and risk causing further damage to the endangered species. Let's move on to the state government updates. Madhya Pradesh adopts Green Open Access rules and new RPO trajectory. Madhya Pradesh is now the second state after West Bengal to fully adopt Green Open Access rules. But the state's financial year 2030 RPO target of 37.89% is lower than the MOP specified target of 43.33%. All obligated entities will be required to meet the new target in contravention to the national tariff policy, which suggests pegging the RPO target for captive consumers to the year of project commissioning. In case a consumer avails green tariffs over RPO targets, excess green attributes will count towards DISCOM RPO compliance. The state reported RPO compliance of 10.85% in financial year 2021. Endowed with rich solar and wind resources, the state is better poised than most states to deliver on the ambitious RPO trajectory. Telangana issues discussion paper to adopt green open access rules. The state, historically resistant to open access market, has proposed to adopt all provisions suggested by Ministry of Power except for additional surcharge waiver. In addition, monthly banking has been proposed with 8% in-kind charge and REC issuance for unused power. The current arrangement includes annual banking at 2% in-kind charge with compensation for unused power at 50% of APPC. If the state goes on to implement the new rules, it will be a welcome step for the open access market. Uttarakhand issues draft RPO regulation in line with MOP recommendations. The financial year 2030 target of 43.33% will be applicable to all obligated entities, including captive consumers. Financial year 2022 RPO compliance in the state was reported at 18%, including carried forward shortfall. Revised target for financial year 2023 is 24.6%, which seems quite steep as there is no notable development in the sector within the state. Karnataka proposes grid support charges for captive and net metered solar projects. As seen in other states with high renewable capacity like Tamil Nadu and Maharashtra, Karnataka regulator is proposing to impose grid support charge of 80 paisa per kilowatt hour and 1.26 rupees per kilowatt hour on HT and LT consumers respectively. Karnataka has a vibrant open access market, but the proposed charges on top of captive tax of 20 paisa per kilowatt hour threaten to slow down progress in the state. This concludes our monthly policy and regulatory updates. We hope you found this update useful. You can view all tender, policy, and regulatory information on the renewable power sector in real time at India RE Navigator. It is a one-stop market intelligence portal for the renewable sector. You can also write to us at contact@bridge2india.com if you have a query or feedback. We would love to hear back from you. We will be back next month with another update. Until then, goodbye and take care.